Virtual backyard barbecue. Interesting concept, very interesting concept. The idea really is that the two Cowboys are taking you on a journey as we answer your questions, courtesy of AMA and Taste Alberta, to learn what the kind of things are that you can cook right here from your own backyard. Now, we're going to have a few programs, and the first one we're starting off with is with eggs. So without further ado, let's switch over to Jerry. Go and have a look at where eggs come from and the fresh produce we use in our baking here in Alberta. And then we're going to have a chat with Meg Tucker on how to cook an egg. Yeah, you'd think that's simple. There's actually a few tricks to the right way of cooking an egg. And then you'll be back here with the Cowboys as we are showing you how to make oeuf cocotte. I think I'm saying it right. Am I saying it right, Cowboy? Oeuf cocotte, egg in a pot. Something simple you can do on the grill right to the backyard, and you're gonna get it Cowboy style. We're doing this thing called the virtual backyard barbecue. And to be honest with you, it sounds a little more crazy than anything, but people got some questions about the products and the goods that they're eating.
Yes.
Now we're talking about eggs today.
Okay. Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah. No, not barbecue, not pork, we're going to talk about eggs. But before we talk about eggs, I'd like to know a little bit more, Jerry, about your farm. I mean, run me down how many eggs you produce on a weekly, daily basis with the number of girls you've got in your barn.
We have 24,000 chickens in here now, and there's 23,000 eggs coming out a day.
23,000 eggs?
Yes.
That must be a huge, because I see the conveyor belt is going here at the moment, and the girls are happy, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't produce all these eggs.
Yes, that's right.
Is this typical size barn that people have here in Alberta when you're farming with eggs?
So most barns, an average, there would be 13,000 birds on a farm. So that's
so you're at the higher end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. I see they're all white. Why?
Yes.
Why are they not brown?
Well, we go with what the grader wants. So if the demand is for white eggs, then we have to supply white eggs.
So how do you get different colors eggs? Is it the different variety or breed of chicken you use?
That's a different breed of chicken, yep. So a brown chicken will lay your brown egg, and a white chicken will lay your white egg. It goes off of the earlobe. If you look at the color of the earlobe, that's the color egg that's coming out.
My goodness, I didn't know that. So one of the big questions people asked us to ask you was, how come some eggs have got more yellow yolk, almost like orange, and others have got a blander, more yellowish, lemony kind of yolk color? How do you get the colors in the yolk?
Okay, so a wheat-based diet would be a paler yolk, and then a darker yolk would come from a corn-fed diet. So it's all in the corn.
So where does the feed come from?
Feed comes from a local feed mill in Calgary here.
So it's local?
Yes, it's local.
And that's a good thing?
Yes.
Because that means we're using different products, and different producers are supporting each other. Do you use some of the feed from your own farm?
Yes, we use our wheat. We blend in our whole wheat.
Nutrition-wise, is there a difference between a darker one and a lighter one?
No, there's no difference in nutrition, or there's no difference in quality either. So it's the same thing.
Taste?
Taste is the same. Yes.
Exactly the same.
The same thing. Yes.
Same thing. What kind of breed of birds do you guys use for egg production?
So we use leghorns.
People like beautiful eggs, don't they?
Yes.
So not every egg comes out perfect. What do you do with the eggs that you don't sell?
So the eggs we don't sell, like some are rough-shelled eggs, we keep them for our own personal consumption.
What do you mean rough-shelled? Is there anything wrong with the egg then?
No, some of them come out, they're a little bit rough-shelled. Mm-hmm. And it could be a little bit of a calcium deficiency or stuff like that. So, but it's a normal egg. It's just sometimes the shell is a little different shape, and those are the ones that we pick out for our own. So out of 24,000 eggs, there might be around 50 or 60 eggs a day that we pick out.
And how do you pick them out? Because
but here by hand.
By hand? So
yes.
You can see them when you go through the processing line?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you need to be awake. Out of 24,000, you get 50 eggs, you need to try and get out of that.
Can't fall asleep.
Yes. Last couple of questions. One is the size of the egg. How do you get the size? Do you just feed the chicken more?
So the size of the egg comes from the bird, the frame of the bird. So the bigger the frame of the bird is, the bigger the egg is. And then to get the egg size up, in our rations we have to use a higher protein ration. So once we get an average egg weight of 60 grams. We just cut the protein back a little bit, and that'll keep maintain the gram of the egg around 60 grams.
So it's a little more scientific than just finding the biggest chicken, the biggest Lego you can find, and say, "Come on, old lady, you need to give me a big egg." There's a whole lot more involved. It's what they eat, and it's then the frame, obviously, of how big the chicken is. Do you go for the biggest eggs you can produce economically, or is it sort of you're trying to hit the middle of the road here?
We're trying to hit a large egg. So once we go too big, there's more cracks. So we try to keep our grams of the eggs around 60 grams. And that's a large egg, and that's what we here in Alberta, the consumers in Alberta want, is a large egg.
They do. Most people in the world likes a large egg because you want to have breakfast, you want to have a really good one. Yeah. Speaking of large, how do you get 2 yolks in it?
So mostly in pullets, it'll happen when birds come in and they're young. So you'll have pullets that come in, and they, in a young pullet, their system is a little immature. So they'll ovulate twice a day instead of once, and that causes a double yolk egg.
And how many? What's the chances of getting a double yolk egg? Because some people say it's good luck.
Yeah. So we'll get up to about 2% off the start. So out of 11,000 birds on the one side here, we'll get around 200 eggs a day.
That's not bad.
That have double yolks. No.
So you can get quite lucky.
Yes.
you keep one of these things, you get quite lucky. So after all of these eggs passing through your hands, I have to ask you, do you still eat eggs?
Yes, I do, every day.
Yeah? And what's your favorite way of eating your egg?
Of course, over easy.
Thank you for telling us about your farm, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And keep buying local.
Yeah, keep buying local.
We do our best.
And happy birds give good eggs.